starts right now.
We begin tonight with a tragic update. A mother of four now identified as the woman killed in a three-vehicle crash on the east side yesterday. We first brought you this story last night on the Night Beat.
Yeah, the medical examiner's office has identified her as 27-year-old Destiny Rodriguez. Her family telling us today she was delivering pizza when the crash happened. It was on Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard and Walters, involving a Hummer and two smaller vehicles. Rodriguez was in one of those smaller vehicles and was pronounced dead at the scene. Another driver was injured and hospitalized. Police say two people inside the Hummer tried to run from the scene after the crash, but were caught and are now facing charges. We've put in a request for more details about those charges, and tonight at 10, we'll bring you an emotional interview with Rodriguez's family.
We also now know the name of a person hit by a car on the access road of Loop 410 late Thursday night. Medical examiner has identified him as 40-year-old Robert Conde. It happened near Lord Road and Rigsby Avenue. Police say a woman driving southbound hit Conde while he was walking in the road. The woman told police he was wearing dark clothing and she didn't see him. Another witness told police the same thing. Conde was pronounced dead at the scene.
A San Antonio woman in police custody tonight in connection with the death of her infant. 38-year-old Crystal Acosta is facing a felony charge of endangering a child, risk of bodily injury. According to the booking record, police say Acosta showed signs of impairment and drugs were found in her home. Court records show at the time of her arrest, she was on bond in 3 felony theft cases. Her criminal history includes convictions of forgery and being a felon in possession of a firearm. No other details were available regarding the death of the child.
Another huge spike. 230 new COVID-19 cases have been confirmed here in Bexar County just since yesterday. It is the largest number of cases in a single day since the pandemic began. That brings the total of number of cases to 4,242. There have also been 4 new deaths, bringing the total to 88. 148 people are hospitalized, 58 of those in the ICU, and 27 are on ventilators. More COVID-19 cases popping up at H-E-B stores as well. Today, 4 different locations have employees who have tested positive. Those locations on your screen right now, 3 are located on the south side along Military Drive, and 1 is on Nogolito Street, not far from the Lone Star District. According to each store's website, only 1 employee is tested positive at each of those locations. For more details on those cases, you can head to our website, KSAT.com.
Turning now to national news, a Wendy's restaurant at the center of another killing of a black man by police now destroyed. Drone footage shows the aftermath. Protesters continue to demand justice as one officer has been terminated and the police chief resigns. ABC's Rena Roy shows us more video from the incident in question.
Outside a charred and gutted Wendy's in Atlanta, protesters gathered again today to demand police reform and racial justice. The fast food restaurant burned down last night and a highway shut down, police deploying tear gas. This after 27-year-old Rayshard Brooks was shot and killed by police following a scuffle during an attempted arrest in the parking lot Friday night. His family speaking out about their loss.
He wasn't out here committing crimes. That's what hurts us more too, is the fact that we know this. So was his life worth taking?
The Georgia Bureau of Investigation is now reviewing video evidence of the incident, which began when officers responded to a call that Brooks was allegedly asleep in his car, blocking the drive-through. Police say he was then given multiple sobriety tests, which they say he failed.
Will you take a preliminary breath test for me? Just yes or no?
I don't want to refuse anything.
Police say after he resisted arrest, which turned into a struggle, leading to him grabbing an officer's taser, according to investigators. Video posted on social media shows Brooks running from the officers and appearing to point the taser at them. The GBI says police then fired 3 gunshots. The firing officer, Garrett Rolfe, was terminated overnight. The other officer, Devin Bronson, placed on administrative duty. Police Chief Erica Shields resigning just a day after the fatal shooting.
Rena Roy, ABC News, New York. New at 5:30, a house fire has caused an estimated $20,000 in damages on the northwest side. The fire happened around 1:30 in the 10,100 block of Silver Wagon. Fire officials say when they got there, they saw flames inside the home. They put the fire out quickly, but there was damage on both the inside and outside of the home. No one inside the home was there during the fire, and there were no injuries reported.
A graduation party ends in a shooting, leaving 3 people hospitalized. The shooting happened just before 10 o'clock last night on Argonne Drive over on the east side. Police say a man showed up at that party telling people someone was chasing him. Then moments later, police say a truck drove up with at least 2 suspects and an argument broke out. The suspects then allegedly opened fire on the crowd, hitting the victims ages 15, 30, and 47. 2 are in stable condition tonight. 1 is in critical. Police have possible suspects in custody.
3 people in custody in connection with the shooting that sent 1 person to the hospital. The shooting happened at the Monte Carlo Club around 1 a.m. Police say 2 men and a woman were trying to get into the club, but were denied because they were allegedly too intoxicated. The suspects then got into their vehicle, and police say they fired several shots toward the front door of the club, hitting a man outside. He was taken to University Hospital in serious condition. While leaving the scene, the suspect's vehicle blew a tire. That's why police were able to catch up with them and arrest them.
Recall alert for you now. A New Jersey company is recalling nearly 43,000 pounds of raw ground beef products due to a possible contamination of E. coli. The beef was shipped to retail locations nationwide, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. The recalled products were produced on June 1st. For the details, head to our website at KSAT.com. If you have that product, you are asked to throw it out.
Still to come, June is National River Month. We'll tell you how you and your family can help the San Antonio River Authority celebrate. Well, June marks National Rivers Month, a tribute to treasured rivers across the country. And the San Antonio River Authority is celebrating by protecting the rivers we know and love. Staff members tell Alicia Barrera they're encouraging families to come visit and help maintain the river.
You can bike, you can run, you can even use your skates along Mission Reach. But it takes a lot of work behind the scenes in order to keep these trails along the San Antonio River clean.
Take a deeper dive into the flow of the San Antonio River to celebrate National Rivers Month.
National Rivers Month, the purpose of it is to allow us to really share how beautiful our river is, share with the public how to keep it clean.
The San Antonio River Authority says it starts with people picking up after themselves.
So all we ask is to please dispose of your trash properly. Put it in a trash can. Please just make sure that it's not in an area where it's going to get hit and knocked over, and then the trash eventually will make it into the San Antonio River. So we just ask people to be aware of that.
The mission continues with Sarah's operations team.
We have a 14-day window that we have committed to picking up the majority of the floatables along Mission Reach.
Daily, Sarah employees like Paul and Nathan scout for trash along the 9-mile ecosystem restoration and recreation project.
They find mattresses sometimes. We find a lot of styrofoam cups. We find a lot of plastic bottles, a lot of plastic bags. So we find a lot of that type of material along the river.
A difference Juan Cortez says he definitely noticed today during his 12-mile run.
It's a lot cleaner than it was a few weeks ago. It was pretty littered with the trash, and I think it was from the big old storm. There were like trash up in the trees and all that.
A tough but necessary job year-round to ensure waterways like the San Antonio River stay clean and viable for generations to come. Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
Outside with Live Cam, a little bit more of Mother Nature shade today. Some fair weather clouds out there, blocking out a little bit of the sun here and there. Overall, still very warm, sitting at 88 degrees at the airport in San Antonio right now. And maybe you noticed a little bit more of that humidity today. I think you'll notice it more by tomorrow. And we've got a very warm and muggy week ahead. More on that coming up in just a few minutes. But first, let's check on the aquifer. It's down 0.4 of a foot in the past 24 hours and a very quiet pollen count on this Sunday. Mold, grass, and pigweed are all low. I'll have a look at your week ahead forecast-wise coming up right after the break.
Started off again pretty comfortable this morning, but you can tell the humidity is coming back, and there were a lot more clouds in the sky today, too.
Sneaking in.
Yes, those clouds kind of a sign of things to come this week after some beautiful blue skies the past few days, that drier air. In the week ahead, we'll see more cloud cover and unfortunately more humidity. But yeah, a little bit of Mother Nature shade out there today thanks to those fair weather clouds. 91 the high temperature this afternoon. That's very close to average for this time of year. A record for today, 105 back in 1998. Thank goodness we're staying a little bit closer to average for now. And even in the week ahead, it will be hot, it will be humid, but we don't have triple digits in the forecast, so that's some good news. Looking at your temperatures as compared to the heat index this afternoon, the air temperature is in white, so 88 at the airport in San Antonio, but feels like 87. And a lot of us have our heat index actually a few degrees lower than the actual air temperature, with the exception of our county southeast of San Antonio on the coastal bend. You guys down there do have a heat index that's a few degrees higher than the air temperature because your dew points are really starting to increase now. 70-degree dew point in Beeville down to Corpus as well. The rest of us sitting in the low 60s, upper 50s, even a few folks in the 40s off well to the west of 35. So these numbers over the past 24 hours for some of us really haven't changed much at all. Here in San Antonio, our dew point is just about 4 degrees higher right now than it was this time yesterday. But look down on the coast, dew points there are up some 10 degrees, and that certainly can make a big difference as to just how it feels out there. So feeling a bit more muggy down on the coastal bend today, and that is going to gradually fill in over the rest of South Texas during the day tomorrow, and especially as we get into Tuesday. So even by tomorrow morning, we're looking at our dew point numbers in the mid to upper 60s here in San Antonio. That's not going to be overly oppressive, but it certainly will feel much more muggy tomorrow morning than it has for the past several mornings. And then as the southeasterly wind settles in during the day on Monday, look at our dew points by Tuesday morning, everyone with dew points near 70 degrees. And that's when I think it will really hit you as you step out the door Tuesday morning. So more clouds tomorrow with some of that higher humidity in place. It also won't be quite as cool tomorrow morning because of the increasing clouds and the increasing humidity. So we'll start you off near 70 degrees on your Monday, up to the low 90s tomorrow afternoon. A mix of sun and clouds through the afternoon hours, very similar to what we're seeing out there today. But I am going to leave in just a 10% chance of a stray shower tomorrow afternoon. And we'll take a look at Futurecast and you'll kind of see who has a better chance to see a shower tomorrow, maybe even into Tuesday as well. Fair weather cumulus clouds out there for the most part this afternoon. That's what we're seeing in and around San Antonio and the metro area. There have been some pop-ups off well to the east of I-35, closer to the Houston area there. These downpours are going to try to make some westward progress, but as we get closer to sunset, they'll continue to fizzle out and we'll lose those showers certainly once we get past sunset later on this evening. I do want to show you Futurecast though. It shows very nicely the low clouds that will fill in through early tomorrow morning. So not as cool, feeling more humid under mostly cloudy skies first thing tomorrow morning. Some sun tomorrow afternoon, but take a look at these downpours that fill in during the heat of the day tomorrow. Now, the best chance for rain will be down closer to the coast tomorrow, but I can't rule out one of these little showers making it to the I-35 corridor in San Antonio tomorrow afternoon. So that's why we'll leave in a mention of a stray shower Monday, a very similar setup as we get into Tuesday. But just keep in mind where you see these blue colors. If you're in blue, your county is in blue, you have a better chance to see one of those downpours tomorrow afternoon here in San Antonio. We're kind of on the fringes there. So just a 10% chance of rain Monday. We'll do that again on Tuesday afternoon. Dry and hot through the middle of the week. Looking ahead to Father's Day weekend next weekend. Of course, a lot of folks will want to spend some time outside. We do bring back in low chances of some showers, maybe a few rumbles of thunder there. And summer officially begins next Saturday afternoon, but it's already felt like it. So it's just a formality.
Yeah, this always feels like it's way early.
We had summer a while ago.
Yeah, we did.
All right, Spurs great Bruce Bowen taking part in a college graduation.
Yes, Bruce Bowen graduated from Cal State Fullerton. So yesterday he was part of Cal State Fullerton's graduation ceremony, a virtual one at that. And Bowen with a pretty cool message for the grads. Plus, Texas Longhorns quarterback Sam Ehlinger discussing the fact two of his teammates tested positive for COVID-19. Coming up. This week, we learned that two University of Texas football players tested positive for COVID-19 and another player tested positive for the COVID-19 antibody. The players are returning in two stages. Now, the first stage was this past week when around 58 upperclassmen who live off campus started the onboarding process, which requires a daily health screening with COVID-19 testing, physicals, and questionnaires. The two positive players are now self-isolating. Starting quarterback Sam Ehlinger was asked if he's surprised some of his teammates tested positive.
I was not surprised that people tested positive for COVID-19 because you have so many different people across the country. And when you bring everybody back together, there's a high chance with how relevant the infection is. I was not surprised.
During that same interview, Steele High School great Caden Stearns, who's entering his junior season with the Horns, was asked about his relationship and new defensive coordinator Chris Ash, since they've been learning through virtual meetings.
Coach Ash is really elite at what he does. Just the way we obviously meet. He's detail oriented, and I feel like through virtual meetings on the mental aspect, like when we get back, we're going to be able to slow the game down. And then outside of that, he's calling us a lot, just checking in. And again, if I wanted to meet anytime, had any questions about film, he's responding within 10 minutes. So the relationship is there and it's continuing to grow regardless of interaction in person. But the relationship's there.
Longhorns are scheduled to start voluntary workouts tomorrow. They will be held outside 3 days a week in small groups. Texas A&M started its on-campus voluntary workouts Tuesday, June 9th. It was the first time in almost 3 months A&M athletes used on-campus facilities because of the coronavirus pandemic. The players aren't receiving coaching because the workouts are voluntary and there are limitations. But at this point, athletes were just happy to be back on campus. Starting quarterback Kellen Mond was asked what must be accomplished the next month or so.
I think the number one thing is just finding our identity and, trying to figure out, what new guys and, even experienced guys, find out their role and figure out how we can execute to the best of our ability this year. And, we have a lot of talent and we got to figure out how to, plug those puzzle pieces in.
Expectations are high for A&M, which returns 18 starters from last year's team that went 8-5. It's been a great week for San Antonio area baseball. Wednesday, during round 1 of the 2020 MLB draft, Asa Lacey from Tybee High School and Jordan Westberg from New Braunfels High School heard their names called by MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred. Lacey, a left-handed pitcher from Texas A&M, was drafted 4th overall by the Kansas City Royals, and Westberg, a shortstop from Mississippi State, was grabbed 30th overall by the Baltimore Orioles. 2 local guys going on the first day is awesome and adds to the list of area players who've been drafted in recent years, like Forrest Whitley, Josh Young, and Hudson Head.
I was in San Antonio just a few weeks ago, and I got to see Josh for the first time in a year, at a batting cage. And I know Forrest Whitley was up there a couple days after I was there throwing a bullpen. So just being in this area, you're going to see a lot of us as professionals, and I think that's just – it kind of gives hope to any kids that are coming up and hoping that they can make a career out of the baseball thing.
Refugio High School pitcher Jared Kelly was selected by the Chicago White Sox in the 2nd round, 47th overall. Kelly, who was verbally committed to Texas, is the first player in Refugio history, high school history, to be selected in the MLB draft.
Going to Homestead Miami Speedway, check out my first NASCAR race. Let's see what I got on. A little Bubba Wallace action. Y'all check me out. I'll be on the NASCAR page.
New Orleans Saints running back Alvin Kamara is in Homestead, Miami for his first ever NASCAR race, and he's decked out in Bubba Wallace gear. Kamara is there to support Wallace, NASCAR's only full-time black driver in the Cup Series. Wallace has basically become the face of the movement that led to NASCAR's decision to ban the Confederate flag from tracks. About 1,000 fans were allowed in the stands to watch the action. Spurs great and 3-time NBA champion Bruce Bowen was part of Cal State Fullerton's first virtual celebration, along with other prominent Titans alumni for graduation. Bowen, who graduated from Cal State Fullerton in 1993, delivered an uplifting and funny message to the class of 2020.
You're a Titan. We're big, we're strong. The fact that we will figure it out is all that matters here. You all have shown that you have risen above the other stuff in order to accomplish one of the best goals ever, and that's a collegiate education. Represent the university the right way, in pride, in success. Be respectful, but also do what you do. Congratulations, 2020 graduates.
He was a perfect guy to do that, wasn't he?
Yeah. Master of the video filters.
Yeah. I know. Who added those?
Good stuff. Thanks, Larry.
You got it.
We'll be right back.
All right. Wave bye-bye to the drier air. It's leaving as we speak. We've got a warm and humid week ahead. A stray shower not out of the question tomorrow and Tuesday, especially in the afternoons, but better chances down closer to the coast. We'll keep an eye on those low wind rain chances for Father's Day weekend next weekend. Guys.
We did silly socks, but we don't have them for you right now. You'll have to look online. Courtney,
We're going to do Facebook and Instagram, and you can vote.
That's all of our time. We'll see you back here for the night beat.
Thanks for watching.